Okay, so today is on photography and I'm going to share my slides. Okay. So today is really about capturing the beauty with just a simple mobile phone. All right.
今天其实很简单，就是要如何利用我们的手机来拍出美丽的照片。
Okay, so before we go into understanding and talking about photography or mobile photography, we first need to understand what is composition.
其实，在要拍一个好的照片之前的话，我们要知道什么是构图，如何构图。
Okay, so basically composition is how your surrounding is and how you actually capture the picture inside the surrounding elements. They call elements that is inside a picture. So everything that it comes that basically is around you is basically an element.
其实构图是就是如何把你周遭的环境及各种元素集合在一起，然后排列出来，成为一个就是照片。
So basically, every time you want to take a picture, you want to first understand, for example, if you're taking a selfie or you're taking maybe a dinner with a friend, every picture has a story to tell.
所以其实，在每一次你拍任何一张照片之前，就好像我们跟朋友聚会，或者是你拍食物的话，你都要知道每一张照片都有一个故事。
对了 correct, it's a 故事 right? So understanding the composition and visually arranging the things around you is really very important because it really tells you and show what you want to portray, all right?
其实知道背后的故事，然后如何安排的话，其实可以让看照片的人更了解你要表达的是什么。
Okay, so you see, in a picture like this, right, you must understand, number one, there are many ways to illustrate a picture of a person, right? This particular person, whether you want it to be on the top, you want the leaves to be covering him, or you want maybe more of the top part, mainly from the bottom up, just a simple picture like this basically can illustrate different things that you want to portray.
其实你们看画面上面这4张，其实都是拍同样的人物，然后同样的景象，可是通过不同的展现方式的话，就有给人家不同的感觉。
Okay, wow. I say so much, you just say so little, but you can say what I want to say. You're very powerful. But you're a very powerful translator. Okay, so basically now, before we go into the meeting, is to really understand some basic tips that you need to perform on your mobile phone to take a good picture.
其实在开始这个之前的话，其实以下有一些基本的技巧，就是你要怎样可以拍摄出一张好的照片。
Correct. And so the first most important thing is clean your lens. Okay, many a times we do not clean our lens, and we go to the coffee shop, we put our our phone on the table, you put it in your pocket, you put in your wherever you in a bag or wherever, and then sometimes you got handprints, oily hands, and basically when you take nice, you have a very nice composition, but then your lens is blurred.
所以就好像第一个最简单的就是清洁你的镜头，可是其实我们很多时候我们把手机放在桌子上，或者是在镜头上有你的指纹，其实这些都会间接影响你拍照的素质。
Yes, correct. So second most important basic tip is to activate your 3x3 grid. So if you don't understand what's the meaning of a 3x3 grid, you can look at the bottom picture of this lady. All right. Every mobile phone, be it you are using an Android, you are using a Microsoft phone, or you're using an iPhone, they all have a 3x3 grid. This is very important because later on I will actually share with you why is it important, right?
OK， 第二个重要的技巧就是把开启你的3×3，就是9宫格，这个9宫格的方式，所有的安卓或者是苹果手机里面都有这一个格式。
Okay. Top is to stabilize your phone. So if you look at the top right corner, you actually see this person taking a picture and basically trying to use two hands to hold the phone and take a picture. This is basically to stabilize the phone so that you don't get blurred vision. Nowadays, the phones are getting more high-tech. Not only the phones are getting more high-tech, but also the phones are getting heavier because you need bigger battery. To hold on one phone like this, you tend to shake. Basically, when you shake, your pictures will be sometimes will also be blurred.
OK， 就是第三呢，就是要把我们的手机就是抓稳，就是怎么说呢？就是尝试固定着你的手机，不要有任何摇晃，这样子才可以拍出更好的照片。
Okay, so lastly, sometimes if let's say you're going, especially what is the coming festive season that most of us here are looking forward to, and that's also why we are doing this photography. Okay, it's Chinese New Year, right? So it's Chinese New Year, so sometimes you're going to have a lot of family photos or with certain friends or whatever. Sometimes instead of just stabilizing the phone, you can also be taking a tripod or buying a tripod anywhere. And the tripod is best to also have a remote shutter. Or those of you who have an iPhone with the Apple Watch, you can also use and activate your remote shutter over there, so that basically you can take a nicer portrait, nicer wide angle picture.
最后一个技巧就是准备一个三脚架，这样子的话，你拍出来的照片，就是会有广角的感觉，而且可以挤得下更多人。Okay. 尤其是我们在农历新年的时候拍团体照。
Yes, correct. So I'm going to move a little bit faster. Okay, so one of the other basic tips is remember you need to always set focus. So many a times we do not remember to click the button that has this square button that you see in the middle of the screen, that you can use it to set focus. All right.
然后还有一个技巧就是你要设置你的焦点，请看照片中间这个照片，其实我们可以在中间的这个按钮的话调整你的焦点。
Second, the next one is to adjust brightness. So if a lot of you don't know, when you click on the center button or the person's face, you can actually use your fingers to push upwards or downwards. Basically, that helps you to either over or underexpose your pictures. If let's say the certain place is too dark, the pictures are a little bit dark, you want to overexpose a little bit, all you got to do is just to keep pushing up, like how you do on a tablet where you keep scrolling up, that will basically help you to brighten up the picture.
其实你在照片中看到，就是其实你在按照你的照片，然后往上移的话，其实你就可以调整你的照片的亮度，就是通过调暗或者是调亮来改变它的那个就是曝光率。
So next, we are talking about some of the basic tips. Like for example, in most of these advanced phones right now, you have this thing called the HDR, or what it means is basically high dynamic range. And basically this allows you to automatically shoot like a pro. So sometimes, if you don't set this, you will see sometimes your pictures a little bit underexposed or overexposed, just like the picture on the left. But when you do a HDR, it will help to compensate the whole picture and give it a perfect composure or exposure, sorry.
OK， 其实你看，要通过就是启动你的那个高动态范围后，你就可以把整个场景完美的曝光，然后拍出一些很漂亮的照片，就不会像镜头来就是
左边
荧幕中左边的是就是整个光线太暗了，然后就是如果通过这个 HDR 的话，可以把你整个光线调足。
Okay, so before I go into this aspect ratio, the other things that you want to take note is you want to put your aspect ratio as well. So what is recommended in the aspect ratio, I would say in most of your phones is either use a 4:5 or you can use a 4:3. These are why I would say to use a 4:3 is basically if you subsequently want to crop it to a square or whichever, it makes it very easy. And it makes it easy in the sense that you are able to basically use it to share either on Instagram, or you want to share on Facebook, or even Instagram story, Facebook story. They are all actually on different aspect ratios.
接下来你们看到的就是 aspect ratio， 就是你的照片的比例。所以通过不同的照片比例，其实我们会建议的话，就是是430或者是450这些的话，你就可以当你要把照片剪接出来的时候，你可以完美的剪接出来，而且当你 post 在你的那个社交媒体的话，它也会比较容易，而且会把你的整个照片完美的呈现出来。
Okay, so other things that you want to really take note of is that you want to look at, for example, your FPS, your frames per second, that you don't want to go too high, like 60 frames per second, you can probably go at 30. But that also depends on whether you want to take a slow motion picture or a fast picture. At the same time, you do not want to go overly too high in terms of your what you call it, the high definition or high quality of the picture, because that basically takes up a lot of memory, and then one day very quickly you'll realize that your phone is out of memory.
OK， 就是每1秒钟你的镜头能捕捉多少镜头的话，会建议调在30，每1秒钟有30个镜头，因为如果你拍太多就是一些高清的照片的话，你的手机的存储量会很快的降低。
Okay, so anyone, if you all have any questions, feel free. This is okay, Anna asked, this is iPhone or Samsung. So typically they are more or less the same in terms of camera settings. They are not very different. All these things, whether it's aspect ratio, your 9宫格 3x3 grid, all this is something that all phones will have, whether is it Android or is it iPhone. Okay, hope I answered your question. So next, okay, so basically now I'm going to basically cover the basic techniques of how to take photography. So this, just bear in mind, this 8 basic techniques is not only apply to just photography, but it also can apply to videography as well. This is what professionals will use on videography as well.
OK， 在荧幕上你看到的这是8种你基本的技巧，就是当我们在拍照的基本技巧。这不只可以适用在你的就是可以适用在摄影或者是录影。
Okay, so the first one I want to basically cover with you is called the rules of third.
第一个我要讲解的就是1/3的一个rule。
Okay, so the first one is basically you want to okay, so in this 3x3 grid or 9宫格, you basically just place the subject or the person that you want to take, or the animal or whichever, or even it could be a mouse or whatever, put it in the intersection or along the line.
就好像你看到照片中的9宫格，我们要把我们要拍的人物、事物或者是动物都放在线上面。
Yes, you can put it at the intersection, which is the 4 dots. The intersection is this 4 dots.
Okay, 你可以放在就是正中央。
Or along the line. Okay. Next is to basically put the subject's eye at the intersection.
就是你要把我们的眼睛，就是你拍动物的话，或者是人物的眼睛放在那个点上面。
Okay, so these are what why is this used for? Okay, so if you look at the left hand side, you basically can see these are the main focus points of where people will always be looking at in a picture, basically.
在左边呢，你看到那个就是不同的8%率的话，这些是人们在看一张照片的时候第一个会注意到的地方，而且会集中看的地方。
Okay, so I'm going to move next. Okay, so you see a lot of all these pictures, they actually use the power of the rule of third. So you see these pictures, that's where it makes the picture very, very intriguing and it makes it look very, very appealing.
你看到照片上有3张不同的照片，他们都采用了1/3的这个 rule， 就是你看到他们的集中的范围都是在点上面。就是看左边这个蜜蜂的话，我们的点，它的眼睛是集中在那个点交接点上面。
Okay, Other pictures are like these, which you ask me, it is very, very appealing. It basically gives a lot of feel to the picture.
照片中就是在荧幕上你看到的这3张照片都会有一个让你觉得很感人的故事，在每一张照片之后都会有一个很感人的故事。
So what I also want to share with you is, if you look at the picture at the bottom left, right, you look at this where they use the rule of third, but they only use the horizontal lines to basically split between land and air, and yeah, basically land and air.
我们看到左下角的这张照片，就是很完美的构图，它只有中间的这个构图，然后把就是陆地和天空做了一个很好的分解。
Okay, so if you look at this picture, right, you see, if you look at this picture without me putting on the lines, right, you already will put your focus on although the photographer is so small, but your focus will quickly be there. So you see, right, this is basically showing you using the rule of thirds. And you will also see that the photographer not only do it like take a picture like this, but you see the mountain at the top side versus the sea and the land again is also taken with proportion in that sense.
OK， 你看到这张照片的构图的话，就是在9宫格当中，中间的部分就是海的部分，然后在1/3的话是高山的部分，1/3以下的话是陆地的部分，而且我们的眼球会被中间的这个摄影师所吸引，就算那个摄影师是很小，可是都很吸引人。
Okay, next. The next picture, the next technique that I want to share is called fill the frame.
下一个我要介绍的就是如何填充你的那个整个框。
Okay, so basically the idea is to fill most of all of the frame or your picture with the face or the person.
这个的构图就是利用你所拍的物件。把它填充整个你的构图。
Okay, next is that you want to put a very non-distracting background because what you want to show is the person's face, so you want to have a very non-distracting background.
因为这个方式的话，其实你要着重的重点是在你所拍的人物上面，所以后面的构图的话，尽量保持干净。
Okay, so you see. When you go and zoom in, right, it is very beautiful to have a picture where you basically fill the frame with everything. Even the bird, you see, the background is very clean, and this is where you want to really portray what you want to show in this picture as a story. Okay?
OK， 这个构图的话，就是你要表达，就是整个你要表达的故事。然后把那个故事集中在这个物件上面。
Okay, other pictures are like this. This is the next design, technique that I really love, and I think that it is so beautiful. It is called frame within the frame.
这个其实是我蛮喜欢的一个构图，就是利用任何物件把你要表达的那个物件框起来。
Okay, so you see, using a bench. So your frame, right, can be anything. It doesn't have to be just a frame looking thing, but it could be, you see on the right hand side, it's like they're using the moon to make it into a frame to take a picture of this particular insect. No, it's not a grasshopper. It looks like a dragonfly. Okay. Okay.
OK， 这个的话，你看到其实。这个框中之框的话，不一定是要你用一个死的框，可以是利用可能是一个把手或者是一个洞，甚至是月亮来把这个构图表达出来。
Okay, so these are some other pictures that basically uses this technique of frame within the frame. It doesn't always have to be, you know, a real frame like this. You see, even using a door and a picture like this, it brings out a lot of artistic feel to a picture.
就算你看这个 利用门缝的话，都会让你拍出一个很有艺术感的照片。
Okay, so you see, even you can be using a cave, you can be using a column, or within the corridors, or you see like this, right? The picture in the middle of me and my wife, right? It's just basically using a mirror, and it shows something different, apart from just a normal picture.
OK， 照片中你看到就是我们可以利用孔门或者是一个山洞，甚至就中间这个有一个我们做了一个示范，就是如何利用镜子拍出你集中在相框当中。
Okay, just give me a short while. Okay, so this is the next picture, the next technique that I really want to show you all is called leading lines. So leading lines, basically, I also really love this technique because it really draws the attention of the person, or basically draws the viewer's eye into the direction where you basically want them to see.
这个其实也是一个我蛮喜欢的一个方式，就是通过一些把你要表达出的故事告诉人家。
Okay, so number one, we have what we call the horizontal lines. So horizontal lines basically are found, or we use it for nature or landscape kind of photography, where it stretches across the whole entire image. The next is a vertical lines, where usually they usually use it more in terms of fashion and street photography. Diagonal lines basically gives movement and emphasize a certain distance, as well as we do have the last one, which is called the converging lines, whereby they mix the lines and are converging from white to small, or small to white, to basically draw the attention of the eyes to the subject.
OK， 其实就是关键就是可以利用不同的线条表达出不同的方式。所以里面有横的、直的，或者是你把那个线条从大到小。
So basically, what does it mean is, if you look at some of the pictures like this, right, it's really, really beautiful. If you want to depict, like for example, the tram or the tram, the lines on the buildings on the floor actually leads to the tram, where people's attention will be on the tram. And then you have, like, this other one in the bottom left, where you have a lot of lines on the staircase that leads to the person in the middle. And you also realize that this guy, this photographer, basically not only used leading lines, but he also used frame within the frame, whereby he used the door frame of the person or the staircase, and he basically take a picture of the person in the middle. And then you have the one on the right, where you have the leading lines that are depicting that is basically leading to the person in the middle of this couple who is basically kissing or taking a nice picture, like about to kiss.
OK， 就是照片中的话，你就会看到很多通过不同的线条表达出不同的故事。
Oh, that's fast. Okay. So the next one is also different types of leading lines. So like converging lines that basically depict the picture at the top left on the building, the models, or you see a converging line also talks about movement, whereby it shows the cyclist moving, and it shows the speed, and it shows the direction.
所以这个 converging line 的话，就是通过一些可能移动的物件，表达出这个就是像图当中这个脚踏车骑士的话，他所走的路线，或者是第一张照片的话，你看所有在草场上的线条都指引你去把你的重点放在建筑物上面，就算那个建筑物很小。
Okay, so this other picture is also using leading lines to show of a boy running, or it shows converging lines that really shows the man in orange, putting him in focus.
所以就是你看一些线条上面的话，通过那个轨道的线条，然后会把我们的集中的注意力放在这个穿橙色衣服的男生上面。
Okay, so these are the other some nice pictures that I find it to be very nice. You see, using leading lines to lead, these are techniques that you can use to take very nice pictures that basically tells a very nice story, and pictures are basically meant to be pleasing to the eyes as well. So yeah. So okay, so this is one particular picture that I really like. I think it's very nice, having the leading lines and the dog that's basically running towards you. And at the same time, he also used a technique of symmetry as well, which basically shows you a very nice picture. And I find this to be very nice picture that I'll keep looking at it, you know. So these are pictures that you really want to take for yourself, especially during the Chinese New Year.
OK， 我们看到，其实，在照片当中的话，就是通过这些线条的就是通过这些线条的构图的话，我们会把所有的注意力放在你所要表达的这个事物或者人物上面。
Okay, so the next one is called the rule of odds, where the meaning of rule of odds is basically to produce generically a picture that is more pleasing to the eye. So photography is always about taking, you know, pictures and making it pleasing to the eyes.
这个的话是单数的一个 rule， 就是让我们的眼睛感到更舒服。
So if you really look at the three flowers over here, right? If you look at 1, 2, and 3, you realize that if you look at the two objects, which is the flower, right? It actually makes the picture look a little bit weird, versus if you look at 1 or 3. So, I mean, this applies very much more to objects rather than human.
所以这个你看到这个构图的话，其实会比较适用在事物上面，就好像物件，你拍一朵花或者是2朵花的话，一朵花会让你觉得更舒服。
Okay, so these are just other patterns that is using the rule of odds that really shows and depict the picture. Okay. You see, even taking the mushroom like this, right? It makes it look so nice. I feel like I'm looking at Smurf. Okay, the next one is called symmetry.
下一个就是symmetry， 中文叫就是
okay, symmetry.
就是要工整，就是对比啊，这是你要对等的。
So humans typically like things that are symmetrical. And when things are symmetrical, they find them attractive.
人们的眼睛往往是喜欢对等的东西，就好像如果你拍的话是它这个东西是要偏向左上角或右上角方，你会觉得看得很不舒服。
Correct. So photographs, these kind of photographs are generally balanced and they both hold equal weights, either top down or left and right.
这种照片它通常都是就是一个平衡。然后通常在照片当中，左边和右边的比例是相等的。
And it's also 上 or 下 also can. Okay. So these are some pictures that especially if you realize they are more on buildings and all this, right? That the picture it shows symmetrical. It shows left and right are the same. They are equal, and these are really very beautiful pictures.
OK， 你看到这些其实。这个对等的话，我们通常是用来拍建筑物，就是左边和右边的建筑物都是平等的，或者是你看到一些风景都是对等的，让你会觉得看得很舒服。
So these are some other pictures that are really very nice, that are also talking about symmetry as well. So you could be even using like the bottom left one, right? Is using actually a glass to show symmetrical, and it's really very nice.
OK， 其实我们也可以通过镜子来表达这个对等的一个方式。
Okay, so for example, watch. So now I want to ask you, right? These two watches are basically the same. The only difference is one has a date and one doesn't have a date. They are both Rolex Submariners. So maybe you all want to type in the group chat, right? Do you all like the left or the right? Can I just have basically for me to understand, there's no right or wrong answer in this. Is what do you prefer? So Daniel says left, Isuza says right. Anyone else? Come, you can also right, left, okay? So there's no right or wrong in this. But some people like it when there's no date because the left and right looks exactly the same. Versus one with the date, it has something popping up there and a date there that doesn't just feel just right. So for example, between my wife and I, right, I like the one on the left and she likes the one on the right. So different people like it differently. Some like it, you know, in symmetry, so they don't like the date. Some people do. So it's a matter of taste. It's a matter of what pleases you in the eye. Okay. Then, so you wanna? I go back to that.
我们看到这个照片的话，其实就是跟照片中的一样，就是很多，这是个人喜好的问题。有些人喜欢就是对比的东西，其实是就是它是一模一样完，就是没有一个多余的一个物件，就跟其实我们拍照片是一样，就是这个是一个平等构图的一个方式。
Okay, the next is basically patterns or repetitions, whereby you have things that are repeated as a design.
接下来的话就是看照片中，就是你看到它的背景的话，就是一些圆球，可是这些圆球都是重复的，就是是一个构图。
Yes, and generally humans also love patterns. Humans also love repetitions.
其实人都喜欢有不同的形式，而且喜欢就是重复的一些东西。
I think just like women, right? Women love LV, right? You know, the monogram. Yeah, the monogram is all repetitive design, right? Gucci, Dior. Yeah, they're all repetitive design, right? The monograms and all this, and you know, they basically love it.
Symmetrical also, I like Chanel.
Okay, so these are some simple symmetrical designs. So it doesn't have to be very like a pattern. It could be, see, even the leaves with the water droplets. These are designs, and you have different designs, colors, and all this that makes the picture actually very pleasing.
就好像其实不只是就算是一些雨水或者是一些露水的话，都会很好的表达，这是一个呈现出不同的方式，而且它有不同的 pattern， 而且这些 pattern 都是重复的。
So now that you know patterns, what's even more beautiful and if you want the thing or you want a picture to stand out is what we call breaking the patterns.
其实你要在一张照片里面更突出的话，其实就是有一个这样子的一个 rule， 就是要打破这些方式，就是好像看照片中所有的人都是红色，只有照片正中央的这个是青色的，所以我们的眼球很自然的都会往一个中间最特别的那一个抓紧中间那个最特别的物件。
So remember all the things that I have covered earlier, right? The beauty of photography is this: there's no standard, but once you know the rules, you actually can break the rules.
其实摄影的话，可以说是没有一个固定的一个规则。可是当你知道所有的怎么说所有的方式之后，你就其实可以通过玩弄不同的技巧来表达不同的照片。
So these are other breaking the patterns, okay, which we think will not cover too much, okay. So the last one is called the center dominant eye. Okay, so basically, if you look at the Mona Lisa picture on the right, you will see why is a simple picture like this very much a very famous picture. It's also partially the movement of the eyes, where you actually, based on the center dominant eye, you can actually see that the eyes are like moving. Okay, so these are some famous pictures that basically uses a center dominant eye. So going back, what the center dominant eye means is drawing a line in the middle of a picture where the eyes of the person is on the line.
这个 center of dominant line 就是你看到人物的眼睛，因为我们说眼睛是灵魂之窗，所以你看到他的眼睛都是 就是坐落在这个构图的
正中央
点，就是交接点上面。
The line 对。Okay, so you see this picture. Look at this lady's this girl's eyes, right? Wow, the eyes is really like talking to me.
看到照片中，你会觉得我们在看这张照片的时候，我们不会看其他的地方，我们就会往她的眼睛看，因为她的眼睛就这么巧，坐落在整个构图就是9宫格的交接点上面。
No, this is center in the middle of the picture.
就是这是在正中央的那个点。
Correct. This is not 9宫格。Yeah. So these are some other pictures that talks about the center dominant eye, where you see when the picture is taken like this, you realize that it seems like the eyes is like so alive.
当你的灵魂之窗坐落在那个点上面，就是正中央的这个点上面的时候，你会觉得，整张照片更生动、更活泼。
Okay, so these are some other pictures that usually that are using the center dominant eye, even the one on the right. Okay, so I've come to the end of sharing with you the basic techniques of photography. So now I just basically want, okay, maybe you want to go first.
Okay, 今天我分享这些就是拍照的技巧就到这边，然后我想要介绍你们一些我觉得很好用的一些应用程序。
Yeah, so I'm going to share with you two recommended apps that you all can use and download. One is called Snapseed, and another is called Lightroom. And basically, these two softwares will allow you to also do some picture editing, whether you want to overexpose, underexpose, you want to clean up the photo, you want to make black and white. There are many techniques that you can use, and these are two of my recommended softwares that you can use. All right.
Okay. 这两个我介绍的应用，它不只可以拍照片，它也可以做一些简单的，就是照片修饰的技巧。
So now I'm just gonna share with you all some of the pictures that are taken using the techniques that you all can apply. Okay, before that, I want to basically, I think I'll just skip this video. I don't have the time. Why cannot? Okay, sorry, I'm just gonna reshare again. Okay, so I'm just going to show you some of my personal shots that I've taken using the techniques over the years. So just bear in mind that I'm not a professional photographer, but you see, it doesn't take a professional photographer to take nice pictures. It can be a simple everyday picture that these are, that we take. These are just some pictures that I've taken over the months and years that basically uses the techniques. See the frame within the frame. Using leading lines to draw, to depict a movement. And you can also be playing with focus, whereby if let's say, it could also apply to human. This is something that I really love. You really must enjoy taking photos and using the elements around you. So like, for example, in nature, I like to always take a picture of a person, but I blur out the person and I take focus on the leaf or on the flower.
I need to translate.
Okay, no need. So you can also do simple designs like this or pictures that really want to just bring out certain story that you want to show. All right, so you see, I can even use leaf to do frame within the frame. Or you see, this picture on the right-hand side, right? I actually focus on the tree trunk rather than my friend at the backdrop. This is to just show a feel. Maybe you want to share this part so people can understand and relate.
我们可以用叶子，或者是一个叶子，或者是一只树干，来就是做一个构图，就好像左边的这个，你就可以通过叶子的话，然后把你要拍的人物放在正中央，或者是就是我的注意力就会集中在他的身上。 或者是在右边这个，我的集中其实是在这个树干，可是间接的我把后面的物件也带出来。
Okay, so these are some other pictures that I've taken. Okay, that I feel they are actually very nice and I like them a lot. Okay, so even using this is using the rule of thirds to take nice pictures. Okay, so over here also you see the sunset where I actually take 1/3 of the area and 2/3 is the sky, and I actually put the sun on the line on the right in a 9宫格 or in a 3x3 grid. So showing a picture like this, I find it to be very pleasing. So these are some of the pictures that we have tried and taken, and I like this picture on the right as well. It's a bit like symmetry, and this was taken at Kallang River in Singapore. So these are some pictures that I find it makes the picture looks very appealing. Okay. So you see on the left was also a leaf that I found. This was where? Coney Island. Okay, so this picture of the leaf where it was broken up like this, but it shows symmetry as well. So these are pictures and things that you can find or play around in wherever you are. You will never know, and then you just have to take nice pictures and use it. Okay. So also you must always remember, right, when you're taking pictures, and if let's say you see like Joanne on the right hand side, right, she's looking at something. When you take a picture of a person, even let me show you the picture before, which is this Cassandra on the left hand side. You see that although the body is facing in this direction, but the other 1/3 is actually an empty space or a space. This basically, you don't want to basically take a picture where the head is facing the other way and it's actually facing the end of the photo. So this is also part of photography. It's called the rule of space. Okay, so I'm just going to go back. Everyone is very quiet in terms of text and all this. Is everybody like learning something today? Everyone very quiet. Which one is available in Apple Store? Both of the softwares, I think earlier you were asking, are also available in software. So I'm actually covering quite fast today because I think one of the important factors why today we have this particular training. So the rationale why we are having this training is to, number one, it's coming to Chinese New Year. So when it's coming to Chinese New Year, everyone is going to be taking a lot of nice photos with family, with friends. And what we wanted to do is also to take nice pictures where you can post these pictures on social media that can also get more attention, more likes that people can communicate and talk to you with. So this is the rationale why taking nicer photos will inadvertently have more people commenting of your Instagram or your pictures and all this. So I just want to check with you. So all these things that you have learned, if today I were to share with you a little bit more about Canva, will you all be interested to learn as well? If you're interested, can you all give me a 111 in the chat? So what will you all be looking at is, let me just, while you all are waiting for your 111, so today I'm going to cover with you a bit about Canva.
今天我们要就是接下来的我们要跟你们讲解的是 Canva。
Okay, so I just want to, before that, why I actually want to cover this is I just want to show you some of the samples that I've done over the years, and for you all to take a look, and then you all can actually appreciate why I want to share this with you guys. All right. So like for example, you can be using Canva to do nice pictures or nice flyers for events for yourself. So you say, hey Jeremy, maybe I'm not the kind of person who can do all these designs. Maybe this is something not that I want to.
可能你会觉得，Canva 是哇，这是专业人士用的一个软件。可是其实 Canva 可以是很简单。
Okay, so some other pictures could be like this, or you see, it could even be using Canva to, let's say the picture on the right, where I actually have class. I was having class and I took a picture and I say that education is a progressive discovery of your ignorance, and I use it as a form of post on my social media.
所以就是 Canva 的话，你可以利用 Canva 来做不同的，就算是在你的社交媒体只是 post 一张照片的话，也可以用 Canva 来更改一些东西。
Yeah. So there's a lot of things that you can do with it. You can even do your own simple flyers or a personal branding for yourself. You know, this I actually used it initially for my Facebook profile picture as well. Not picture, but the backdrop as well. Okay. So you see, the reason why we decided to do Canva is also to use the picture that you have to create a Chinese New Year greeting that you can send it to your friends or you can post it on social media, and it makes it personalized. It creates personal branding, and that's fantastic.
其实 Canva 不只是给你就是做一些专业的一些海报，其实也可以利用 Canva 来做一些贺卡。
Okay, so these are some of the things that we have done before. Whether it's for Christmas or for the coming Chinese New Year. I even did one for Autumn Festival, and I basically just find a picture and I just depict. You see, these are some pictures that I wanted to show you all what we have done before, and it's actually okay. How many of you think that all these pictures that I show you, right, is actually very difficult to do? If you say difficult to do, press 2. If you think it's easy, press 1. So easy, right? Okay, so it is easy. It is 1.5, Daniel. Okay, see, even this, right, was actually even done on Canva as well. It's a GIF file, a GIF file. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share with you. You all can easily just register Canva. Canva is very easy to register. You can even use your Facebook immediately. You actually get an account. All right. So let me just give me a minute to share. Okay, you all can always stop me if you all have questions. Yeah. So at least I know that you all need any help. All right. Okay, got it. Okay. So basically, this is Canva. Very simple. It's actually quite simple to use. So I'm just going to cover very quickly all the things that you need. So over here, on the left-hand side, you already have all, whether it's your own designs, templates, or whatever. Over here, whether is it, for you, whether you want to do presentation, you want to do social media, you want to do video, print, whatever. There's a lot of choices you can choose from. At the same time, if you know about custom sizes, you can also customize your own size of photos that you want. Okay. So let's say today you want to do a very simple Chinese New Year greeting. Okay. All you have to do now is to go to Canva over here, click on this custom size, or you can also choose your own. But for me, why I use custom size is that I can use this to share on Facebook and Instagram or anywhere else. All right. So let's say if I do at 1080, you can do at whatever size you want. You can do at 400 by 400. You can do 800 by 800. Okay. And then you click create design. So what you have typically when you click something like this is just a very simple template. And immediately you will be given a 1080 by 1080 picture square. Okay. So I go back to stop share first. Okay. So if you like a particular design, come over here. Okay, can you all see Google over here? Maybe can someone say that you can see, so at least I know while I'm trying to share and show you how to do it. Can see Google, right? Okay, great. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Anna. So over here, like today, let's say I want to look at Chinese New Year greetings. So I can put Chinese New Year 2022. Okay. So over here, when you already choose this, you can choose images over here and click on images. So when you click on image, number one, if let's say Canva doesn't have the particular picture you want and you want to customize your own design. For example, if I like, let's say I like, what picture is nice? It's very, very simple to, okay, let's say this picture here, okay, this tiger, right click, copy image. Go back to Canva. Can you see my Canva picture now? Because I'm toggling between screens, yeah. So I just want to see whether can you all see. Can you all see my Canva picture? Yes, no, can see, cannot see, can see, yeah. Okay. So you see, I just right click and paste, and I immediately have my picture here. And you can basically right click to say you want to set image as a background. You can even double click to move the picture to how you want it to be. Let's say I just want it to be like this. I know the picture is a little bit blur, so it can be any picture like this. You can customize yourself. And then over on the left-hand side, you actually see a whole bunch of bars, okay? You have elements, you have photo, etc. So for example, if you have your own picture of yourself that you have taken, okay? So like me, I have a picture of myself that I've taken. Okay, so for example, I have a picture here and I actually drag over here. Okay, and then I can just make the picture a little bit smaller. I can put it somewhere, I don't know. This picture doesn't show very good. Okay, let me just change another picture. It's a bit blur. Let's see. Okay, let me take this. Okay, now I change to another picture. So if let's say I come over here, all I gotta do is just copy and paste. I want to remove this picture and I just replace and set as background. Okay, so now, okay, this is only applicable for people with the pro version of Canva. If not, you can just do a square. So what I like to do is, for me, I will usually edit image over here and I actually remove the background. So when you do this, you basically just show a picture of yourself with a very nice background. Okay. Okay, while it's still removing, it's a bit laggy, to give it some time. It's usually quite fast. Oh, sorry, I don't know whether you need to. So far, all of you understand what I'm doing so far? Okay, so you see, what you basically get is just a background like this. And then you can just put it here. And then maybe you want to add a text. 你要加字 okay? So 你放了一个照片，你要加字，你可以 just go to text here. And then you can either choose a whole bunch of fonts, or maybe you say, okay, I just want to use this. And then I put here. And then what you want to do is, let's say you want to write, 比如说 in Chinese. Wow. Oh yeah. Why cannot? No. Okay. 恭喜发财. Cannot. Okay, never mind. I can always go to translate and copy Happy Chinese New Year. Oh, 新年快乐啦. Okay, let's say we use 新年快乐. Okay, you can go to Google and you can paste. Okay, just go to Google and look for the Chinese word that you want, and then you can paste. And then you can also, you know, if you want to make this bigger or whatever, you can always do so. You can just put like this, you know, 新年快乐, 恭喜发财, whatever the case may be. Then maybe you say, hey, maybe I also want to do, I want to put a signature or some sort. I can also use this, take any font over here, okay? And then you can say Jeremy. And then maybe below here, you can say Cassandra. And then you can very easily just change color over here. Maybe you want to use that white. You want to use it white to give the background a good background. Okay. Then maybe if this is a little bit big, you want to change the font a little bit smaller. Wow, this is too small. Okay. Maybe this I go 80. Okay, something like this. It's just an example. This may not be the best of fonts. Okay. Yeah, actually this is not the best. Maybe I'll just remove this. Okay. See, then you can just put here. Maybe make it. Maybe you want to make it a little bit smaller. Okay, and you can put like this. And then maybe you want to have a little bit of, okay, so over here you have text that you can put in. You can choose photos. So over here, when you click on photos, you can also choose photos. Let's say you don't like this photo, you just put Chinese New Year. And then you will see a whole bunch of things over here. You can be putting anything over here. You can be following this and putting here also. Oops, wait, replace background. Maybe I want to move this. Okay. Okay, this is not very nice. Okay. Maybe you want to use other pictures, or you like this, maybe. This is a clearer picture. And then you replace. And then you can move this, change this, make it bigger. And voila, you already have some pictures. Okay, so you can have pictures, or you can actually find from Google and you paste it over here. Whichever the case may be, you can put in your own text. At the same time, you also have this thing called elements. Elements over here is quite interesting if you like. So over here, when you click on elements, you basically get to choose a lot of all these little things. You can even be putting this little lion dance thing, you know, and then you can add on and you can put make it smaller or whatever, and then or maybe I can shift this and I can make this bigger. You can play around, you know, and you can change fonts. You can even change the effects of the fonts by clicking this, and you say, hey, maybe I want the fonts to look a little bit brighter like this. Looks nice, you know, and then, or you can change fonts like this. Okay, so elements wise, going back to elements, you can be putting, for example, Chinese New Year, and then you search. And they're quite fast to come out with things on Chinese New Year. You can putting a dragon if you want. You just have to basically just drag and drop. It's so simple that you can just drag and drop. Maybe you like this lantern, just drag, hold this, and you just drop it. And if you even want to change color, maybe this I want to put in black, you can just click and change, and it automatically change to black. It's very, very easy to use. If you like GIF file, because typically you can even change to GIF file. Maybe I want to put this. And then you can have it like this. So a GIF file is when you download, you basically have choices of whether is it a GIF file. GIF file is a short file that is movement, just like the Chinese, the National Day with the flag moving. Yeah, you can use GIF file to send. You can send by JPEG, PNG file. You know, you can even convert to a PDF file, etc. So you can do a lot of different things, and you can be putting like this. It's so cute, don't you agree? It's so cute, and you can do a lot of things. Okay, so you can even, let's say you say, Jeremy, I don't have the remover of these pictures. You can be doing a picture that is halfway, that you can maybe slash it. Later on, I'll show you all. Okay. Any questions so far? how to use, I think it's very, very simple. You can easily just do a design within 10 minutes. Any questions? Anyone? Everyone is so quiet. Oh my God. Anyone? Questions? Yes, actually, you can also do video. So for some of you who actually come in and you see a countdown timer and the ending video of our OneGlobal Elite team, it is all done by Canva. And it is what I done for Canva. So you can even come here. That's how I did it. Yeah. I went to video. You can put videos, but some of the videos are typically, I'm not sure whether free versions can use video or not, or maybe a certain limit. So you can even be putting video. So if let's say like what Anna is asking, right? Maybe I leave all this first. You can be putting videos like this. Maybe I want to put this in the middle. Maybe a bit bigger. Okay, and then I just say play. So basically you get a very nice video like this. So you can send to people a video like this as well. And videos are actually very good, very, very good for social media. This is also very nice, right? Do you think it's nice?
Yes.
Quite interesting, right? So there's a lot of types of videos that you can find. Yeah, sweet, right, Isuza? Yeah, you can be doing a lot. You can, oh, this looks nice too, actually. See, with the clouds moving. So this is what I think that you guys can really use and do. And it's very easy to do. All you got to do is just subscribe, play around with the things. You know, if you got any questions, my line is always open. That you all can contact me by. So you know, like the video I was telling you about the countdown. You see, I actually typed countdown timer. And what I did was really using the countdown timer here to play your countdown timer. Example like this. Replace background. And you basically have a 60-second countdown timer. And of course, why is that music? Is when you play a video, you can also add audio over here. Okay, but I don't know whether you see, but this only pro version have. I say, man. Okay, so now you see I play my video. I say, man. See, you have a very nice video that you can use and you can send it to people. Some Chinese festive. Canva is really, really very intuitive. Really very, very easy. Okay? So if you don't want a countdown timer, you want to go back to putting, you can have different types lah. There's only one Chinese New Year celebration. You can be putting back photos or whatever, and then you can play lah, like that. Simple. So this is something that I really, really think that you guys can really go and use it and make this year a special year. Use it, do something nice like this, and you send it to your friends. It's personalized, and it probably have your you know, you can have your own well wishes as well, and you can just very, very easily use it as a way of connecting with people. And I'm sure with this, you're gonna have even more likes, shares, and not shares, sorry, likes and comments on your Facebook or your Instagram page. All right. So this is really, I mean, there's a lot more of things that you can do with Canva, and I really, really urge you guys to try Canva. I've been using Canva for about three over years now, and it's really, really an amazing tool. And that's also the reason why I bought the Pro version as well. So if any of you, of course, if any of you are interested in a Canva Pro account, you all can also hook up with me. You know, I can be I can actually share up to, I think, another 2 or 3 more accounts that we can share the cost. The cost of Canva is about $167 for a year, for 1 year, for the Pro version. So I'm currently sharing with one other friend. So if you all like, I can accommodate maybe another 1 or 2 more person, and we can split the cost, and it's going to be very cheap. Either that, or if you guys want to have among your friends, you want to, you know, share an account, you can basically put 4 or 5 people combined and split the cost. It's also doable. Okay, so I love using Canva, and I think that is something that I'm going to be using for a very, very long time. Okay, so that's all I have for sharing today, and I hope that you all have learned something today. Okay, so I think most of you are already, I think it's really quite late into the night. I really want to thank all of you for today's training as well. I think it's just nice. Started at about 8:30. It's about almost 1.5 hours. So I think it's great. I'm not eating into everybody's time. Any questions so far you want to ask? Please feel free to ask. No problem. No problem, Deborah. Pastor Deborah, 谢谢你. Thanks for coming today. Hope you learned something and you enjoyed the session. Okay, so I hope, and I'm looking forward to all your pictures on social media, on Facebook, you know, and all your well wishes. So this year in our group chats, right, I really don't want to just see you all grab something from Google and just pasting and wishing, you know, do something more personalized and really make it interesting. All right, you want to finish up?
Okay, so 最后结尾的话，我们就是要讲，就是希望你们真的是通过今天的课程的话，可以利用学到的 Canva， 还有就是这些摄影的技巧的话，让我们的 group chat 在农历新年的时候有一些更多的色彩。
Yes, more 色彩, okay? More 色彩, yeah? So you have personalized. There are a lot of ways to do this design. It is very easy. You can even use it to personalize your Facebook. There's a lot of things to do. Okay, so please, this year, make our group chats more vibrant with personalized message and greetings for Chinese New Year. Can I have a thumbs up from all of you? Can I? Thumbs up. Amy, okay. So let's have more personalized on Facebook, social media, and on our group chats, okay? Thank you, Brian. All right. So everyone have a good night, and I'll see you all again very soon. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Jeremy and Cass. Excellent. So now you can take nice pictures for me tomorrow.
The subscriber you're calling is currently unavailable. Please try again.
I expect myself to look like a Canva model. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, Cass. 拜托你们了。
The reception is not good.
Oh, reception not good. Yeah, I think so. Reception not very good.
It's okay. I'll take it personally. 大家都聽到嘅 okay?
All right.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye. Have a good night.